The Broken Straight Sword. A weapon so bad that it's the worst weapon in every game that it appears in. So of course, I did what any normal person would do, and beat Dark Souls 3 with it. And it went, well, you can probably guess. So if that sounds interesting to you, let's go ahead and get it started. Also, if you're cute, you'll like and sub. Before the run really even starts, I've already encountered my first problem. You can't fight Gundyr with a broken sword because you can't get the sword until after you beat him. So run's over, right? You're not able to beat all bosses with broken straight sword only. Well, technically, the whole point of the run is that the only weapon you can use is the broken straight sword. However, if you want to be technical, bare hands don't count as weapons. So, again, technically, the run is still on. I just gotta throw bows with Gundyr. And honestly, the fight wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I'll tell you what though, it sure made me respect the people that have done bare fist runs of the whole game. I don't think I could ever put myself through that kind of torture. Like, this is the very first boss of the game, and it took me legit 6 minutes to even do that. Like, I don't even want to think about how long it would take to do Soul of Cinder. I'm gonna speed up the rest of the fight, but show all of it, so you guys know I did it for sure. But I mean, look at this, look how long it takes. With the first boss gone, we can now make our way and collect our Excalibur, and then head on to Vordt. This fight is what really started to set in of like how much this run is gonna really suck for me, because as soon as I go in, I swing, I think I'm gonna hit him for at least a bit, and boom, 18 damage. As soon as I saw that number pop up, I was thinking, I'm so screwed. All in all, he went down pretty easy. I mean, it's Vordt, you can literally walk at him and just avoid his attacks. I just did it right there. The only problem that I had with him is the same problem that I have with most of the bosses in this run, and it's just that the fight just takes forever. The interesting thing about GreatWood in this run is that I had to change how I approached him in the second phase. Usually the route I go with is just burst some eggs to stun him, smack the hand, rinse repeat. But with the broken sword that wasn't really too viable because of how low the damage you did to the hand was. I mean, I ended up having to break the eggs on his back, which I don't think I've ever done. I didn't even do it in my bow run. We now get to the first boss of the run that actually kinda clapped my cheeks for a while. I think the reason I struggled with this guy so hard is because usually I'm able to just do enough damage in between his teleports that I can just constantly rush him down and not even worry about all the clones around me. But as is the theme for this run, I wasn't doing for damage, so it was a little different this time. Eventually, I was able to turn on my brain and realize what I was doing wrong, and finally get it done. Fucking finally. My first try at the Deacons is not pretty. I was getting absolutely walloped the entire time because I was trying to get it done as fast as possible. And despite that, I still ended up running out of time and they started to curse me. Knowing how this was going to play out, I said screw it and I just quit the menu. This is where I thought to myself for a second and I asked myself, is there anything I can do that will give me a quick damage boost? And then it hit me. Fire paper. And now that I had some real damage on my side, I was ready for round 2. That's more like it. Let me fucking attack you, dude. Come on. After a quick visit to my 2 favorite Humpty Dumptys, it's time for Abyss Watchers. As per usual, this fight was pretty free. In both phases, he gets staggered after basically any hit still. You can get the other Watchers to do good chunks of damage for you, and you can backstab like crazy in this fight for a lot of damage. Well, if the game lets you, that is. You'll see what I mean. Hello, friend. Start fighting. Come on now. Here, get him. Oh. Or let me backstab you, man. What are you doing? Right. I'm gonna clutch up. Alright. Fucking missing backstabs, dude. So unfortunate. Let's go. Wolnir sucked, but not because it's hard. It's just that this freaking D-bag wouldn't let me hit his right arm. I broke the first 2 bracelets on his left arm, pretty quick, pretty easy, but he just would not remove his right arm from the fog. Either that, or he would just spam summon his sword, and then immediately blow it up after swinging like once or twice. So I was just barely able to ever actually attack it. After this, I had to Irithyll so I can get the Pontiff's right eye ring. And I didn't mention earlier, but I'm also using Flynn's ring and Lloyd's sword ring for extra damage. Although I don't really utilize Flynn's ring until later in the run. And then on my first run of Pontiff, tragedy struck. On jumping attack? No! Oh, what the fuck? Please count. Oh, I hope that counts. It didn't count. So there I went to kill Pontiff a second time. My main strategy for this fight was just to use Rotten Pine Resin, because Pontiff is one of the few bosses you can actually poison in this game. Other than that, pretty much business as usual. Oh, is there any poison again? Holy crap, dude. That kind of close. Bitch. I'm still so mad about that first run, dude. I didn't run into a whole lot of trouble with Aldrich.
Aldrich.
What the f, man? I have a harder time saying the boss's name than actually fighting him. But anyway, like I said, not too much of a struggle. Although I did almost pull a Pontiff again. Oh, that's gotta count. That's gotta count, right? I killed her so early. Yes! Oh, greed always pays off, boys. Let's get it. The Yhorm fight was interesting, to say the least. There's a certain way that you have to fight him, and it's a bit tricky. I couldn't hit his leg because it only did 30 damage, and hitting his left arm was useless because it doesn't stagger him. So what I had to do was patiently wait for him to do certain attacks that allowed me to hit his right arm in order to stagger him and then get a visceral attack on his head. Because that's the only real way you can do any meaningful damage in this fight. The problem with this though, is that you can't lock onto his arm, and with how short the broken sword's range is, you can't just swing away at it either. So what you have to do, is you have to free cam it, look up for the first swing, and then look up and to the right for the second swing. And if you don't do it like that, the hits won't connect and you're just not going to do any damage and you're just going to be swinging at the air. Needless to say, beating this was a huge time sink. The run I killed him on deadass took me 17 minutes. And just for the extra flex, I didn't use any bolt paper. And now I'd like to introduce a segment I call Suffering. I'm not even joking when I say that this wasn't even half of the times that I wiped on this boss. I don't even know why I struggled that much. I think my brain just turned off and forgot how to dodge her attacks. Eventually, I learned that I had to be more patient, and that I could only swing once or twice before I had to retreat. Oh, and the reason I'm not wearing armor is because I'm using Flinzering. Before I wasn't fully utilizing it, because the damage bonus wasn't really worth sacrificing defense for it. But when I got to the Dancer, I was doing like 30 more damage a swing, so I figured the trade-off was worth it. Oh, fucking... Gotta throw up. Now that I'm past Dancer, I finally had access to Titanite chunks, so I could finally upgrade my sword further. Which I think really helped me against DSA. I mean, I was hitting this dude for yellow damage, which is something I didn't really expect to happen. I also picked up some new drip, because I was tired of being one-shot, and this outfit was lighter than my previous armor, but it still offered decent enough protection. And it seemed to be enough, because I really didn't struggle on this guy for too long. With the Twin Princes, the first phase wasn't too much different than it would be in a normal run. The second phase was a little bit more of a hassle than it usually is. Due to how tiny the range of the Broken Straight Sword is, it felt like you had to be practically inside of the younger brother to even get a hit on him.
Going down to a 12,700k. Maybe I'll couple extra. That one doesn't work. It's really close to me. I want to get it to less than 1,000. The tough part is like he needs a monitor and
Right.
I guess anybody that was doing this was to get the full setup.
And just like that, I'm back at the Soul of Cinder. I grab my newly upgraded plus 10 broken straight sword, which is something I never thought I would say out loud. And I was ready to tear some ass. Bruh. Bro, you're spamming it. Oh, alright. Nerd. And just like that, the run was completed. Except for one more thing I had to do.